All right, so the time is now 7:22. Let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Hello Houston, where we go live Monday through Friday from 7:15 to about 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. Sometimes we do go a little bit over, but if you are new to Hello Houston, there is a clubhouse right above our heads at the top. If you want to go ahead and tap on the green clubhouse and um, join the club, that will be great. We will be grateful. Also, can someone ping the link at the top? I'm driving. Um, we do have an organization, Hello Houston, Texas.com, and Texas is all the way spelled out. We would extend the invite for you all to join our club. We do have free and paid memberships. So once again, just go to www.hellohoustontexas.com and the link is posted above and join to be a member. We really appreciate it. Today's topic is, does work-life balance really exist? Who wants to start off on that today?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So it exists for me anyway. There's really not sort of a set schedule for it though. I just kind of get it in when I can. Well, R&R anyway, but or make time for it. But man, um, mm, so the balance has become a little bit easier now since I've added a truck, added a driver, and done a few other things. But man, it's like sometimes I feel like uh, I've got a lot of free time on my hand, but I really don't. But but it's more of a sort of a, I can see myself kind of shifting to like a 9 to 5 almost kind of type of deal. You know what I mean? Uh, because I'm not so I'm not so in a rush to, or well, I'm not just so there's not just everything, all the demand isn't just on me. You see what I'm saying? So so the balance has gotten better. As before, it was just me always on the go until it was time for me to lay it down for a bit or whatever. But yeah, the balance is getting better than what it was, let's say, a month ago. Um, but it's still, there's still things I've got to get done or keep up with and keep done. So but yeah, it's a thing. We got to make time for ourselves at the end of the day. So, and family, so kinfolk, all that stuff. So, but yeah, no doubt for me, yeah, there's a balance, and if I can't have it like I want it, then we'll get it when I can. That's just the way. That's the way it always was for me. But yeah, I'm back quiet.
Yeah, I agree. I think work-life balance. Um, I think the balance part, if you put your mind to it, it can be done. You have to want it. People glorify the team no sleep and that hustle hard, you know, that hustle hard culture. Or I guess that entrepreneur life, no sleep, no sleep, early bird gets the worm type of things. But you really have to schedule and make time for yourself. So it is possible. I know a lot of people will probably say that, oh, I'm so busy, this, that, and the other, because me, I am one of those. I am people. I say that all the time. But if you put your mind to it, there is a balance. You just have to know how to find it.
Cool, cool. We popcorn style, or we can go in an order and in any kind of order. But yeah, y'all come on.
I'll say,
What's
I'll
your
say for
say?
me. Go ahead, Tony. So for me, I'm really a scheduler. I schedule my days out. So I will try my best, and I would try my best to fit some type of balance in my life because I like my social life as well. And so Sundays, after I just started doing this maybe like a few weeks ago, where Sundays I'm not doing jack. Like that's Sunday to regroup, hang out, chill, all that type of great stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Hi guys, good morning. I am um agreeing with all of you. I touch and agree, yes. Work-life balance is a thing. And yes, scheduled vacations is a thing. Um, every, if not every 3 months, I do a 3 to 4 day weekend, as well as I always embed other vacations, throughout the year, because when it's all said and done, you're only one person and you can only give so much of yourself. You have to retreat. You have to get back and, get your mind together so that you can get out there and just go harder, in my opinion. And I find people who will say in a minute, I haven't had a vacation in umpteen days, weeks, months, years. And I feel for them because in their minds, they're believing that if I'm not here, this won't get done or that won't get done, especially if you have a business. If you have a business and you can't leave it, you don't have a business. You're really just working a regular old 9 to 5. Most business should be automated. I get it. You got to structure it, set it up accordingly, but you should always be putting somebody in place to be there or shut it down. I know when I had my daycare, I would just shut it down if I felt the need that, I don't need to, everybody needs a break at this point. I would just shut it down. So that's just my 2 cents. We all have to, in order to be better us's, we need to definitely take some time away to regroup. That's
Anyone can go next. We're popcorn style, so feel free. Um, go right ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the whole like scheduling your day entirely. That's what works for me, and that helps me kind of get my work life balance kind of together. When I don't schedule myself and like say, okay, these three things I know for a fact I have to get done, so I'm not overwhelmed throughout the week. Um, if I don't do that, I'm just like a mess. So for me, it's always to schedule my time frames when I get up, when I go to work, when I, have to go work out and all those important things just to kind of have like that so-called work-life balance. But I do think sometimes it kind of gets out of whack depending on what's going on in your life, right? You can't, always prepare for the unforeseen, but I would say that the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to do your best. So that's kind of the mindset that I apply. Do what you can. Don't overwhelm yourself because no one's going to be there when you're dead. So it's more important to take care of yourself. Make sure you're good to go and able to handle your workload.
Absolutely. Thank
So I'm back. What?
You missed me talking about what had happened. This old girl knocked on my door last night.
I know you lying.
Yeah, you know I'm lying.
I
Yeah,
was
you know
about
I'm
to say,
lying.
who we need to go bail out of jail this morning.
Uh, you have a collect call from. It's Tony, man. All right.
No, it's Killer Kim.
Okay,
I'm on my
Killer
way.
Kim.
All right. So I'm gonna reset the room. I'm not for sure if you guys did or not, but thanks for holding it down. I am Andy, known as Just Ask Andy, and welcome to Hello Houston. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that greenhouse at the top of the screen that says Hello Houston, as well as you can see pinned at the top is www.hellohoustontexas.com, where you can see the upcoming events, topics, as well as different things that our individuals have going on in our Hello Houston district. Welcome. If nobody told you, good morning, good morning, good morning. And today's topic is, does work-life balance really exist? Okay, so I'm gonna tap in. Not for sure if you guys said this or not, but honestly and truly, I think it does if you have great communication. And that's not just with the spouse, that's just not with your kids, that's not just with, everybody else. It's about communicating with yourself. And communicating with yourself starts off with your own schedule, as well as being committed to say, this is what I'm going to do on a consistent basis, and not have excuses. We will not tell everybody else what we have fear of or what we feel like we can't do, but yet and still we know when we look in the mirror what we can and cannot do. So I would definitely say have communication with yourself and be truthful. Be truthful. If it's too much, slow down. You know, this is your life. If you leave tomorrow, God forbid, trust and believe life goes on. So you have to enjoy yourself and what you're doing right now so you can do more for others in the future. That's what I would like to say. And
I,
What's happening, Morgan? You available? This is a busy, busy morning.
good morning, Mr. Brown.
Cool. Mr. Brown.
Grand Rising. I appreciate the subject. Like most subjects, it's on point. It resonates with people, not just entrepreneurs. Work-life balance. I've always been bad at that. um, when I was in a plant, I used to work 9 months straight, and I'd take off 3 months, 2 to 3 months. For 9 months, people wouldn't see me. Like for 9 months, I would basically prioritize 7 day shifts, 21 day shifts. It sounds crazy now, but I mean, that's how I felt I had to get it. Now it's a little different, but it's more or less I have the time I want, but not necessarily because I'm still in that accumulation phase of my book of business. So my clients are available on weekends and evenings. So I might spend my morning doing training and education or nothing, hanging with my little babies. And then my evening I'm at the desk till 12:30 at night. Or like yesterday morning, I'm thinking I'm getting on the call and you know what? My East Coast client wants to talk at 8 a.m. in the morning. So 8 a.m. to whenever time, and then you think you got a little more free time, and then you get another phone call. So I'm not necessarily an advocate or in a great position to promote work-life balance as I should, but I know the rest is key. And when they say the good die young, it be the good that be stressing over a lot of stuff they can't control. So I've been really focusing on that mental health aspect of it because as an agent, you get people's life stories. Sometimes it's good, it's beautiful. You know, they give you that beautiful story of testimony, but quite often it's tragic and it's draining and it weighs on you depending on who the person is and how long you decide to talk to them. So I've been focusing on work life balance myself. I don't have it down pat. I've never been a good advocate for it, but I know it's important. Um, That's why, like last week, I was talking about taking the month of July and December's off. Not necessarily off, but off from meeting new people. Kind of just work on the clients I have and deal in those circles, especially December being a wealth movement month. Like people like to transition wealth in December. But that's all I really have to say about it is I'm trying to figure it out, but it's difficult because my clients work during the day. The time they're off is when everybody wants to be off, evenings and weekends. So that's when I get most of my work in, evenings and weekends. Um, well, client work anyway, because it's still training and continued education and marketing classes. There's so much come with this, but I appreciate it, and I'm blessed to be in a position to have the aptitude to follow through. That's all I had to say. Thanks, Don.
Yeah, man. You know what? You just made me think of something. I was wondering if anybody in the room or on the stage, and if you're in the audience or whatever, just raise your hand. We'll get you up. But do you work in a profession that where other people's stories uh, weigh heavy on you? And if so, how do you decompress? How do you get that weight off your shoulders? But so yeah, if y'all do, or if anybody in here does, yeah, I'd be interested to know.
Boundaries.
Oh, go right.
I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and so one thing that I used to do in my previous role is that I used to see pediatric patients, and since then I have refused because it's too much. It's too much work. Number one, it's a lot of drama with the parents as well, and then third, there's a higher likelihood that you would have to go to court or have to be involved in legal proceedings because of the parents. So a lot of times people will refer their kids, and the courts will refer their kids to us when they were doing legal proceedings to see where people should who should have, which parent should have full custody. And I don't feel comfortable making that judgment after, one or two appointments with a kid. So I think for me, it's a boundary. It's kind of just being certain what you will and won't tolerate going into a position. And if you feel like once you're there that it's not what it was supposed to be, or that, it's an emotional expenditure or it's too heavy on you, making that clear and telling your job that, saying that I don't want to work here and I'm quitting because XYZ. And as I've grown in my own practice, like I've just been way more comfortable with being clear on what does not and does serve me. And I remember I had told Andy, I said, girl, I'm quitting my job. I'm quitting my job. So I tried to actually quit my job 2 weeks ago. And when I sent them my letter of resignation, they asked me if I would stay, and they wanted to have a meeting with me to find out why I was leaving. I've never had a job do that before. Ask me why I'm leaving and what they can do to make me stay. So for me, people who are even making attempts to change the toxic behavior and change toxic environments, that means a lot to me. So for me, it's definitely the boundaries that has allowed me to stay sane and has allowed me to kind of continue on in my practice. This is Morgan.
Morgan getting them dollars. That's what I'm talking about. What they got you about $200 an hour now?
It's not. I actually kind of go by the reimbursement rate at one of my jobs. Another job does pay hourly.
Morgan, you ain't gotta be humble. Come on, 300 an hour. Let me know. Come on, we want to know. We proud of you. I'm proud of you, Morgan.
I wish. Let me hold something.
That part.
Man, that's funny as hell. Bree Love is the funniest dude on the planet, man. But
For real, man. Hey, I'm for real, man. Morgan getting them dollars. You married, Morgan? Some of them single men better start hollering. When my wife said she was going to medical school, shit, I went and got a ring. I went.
Shoot.
No,
All right, Bree Love. So, what about you? How do you balance? How do you balance? What's going
Oh Lord, do I have to answer this?
on?
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yes, you do. Yes. Yes, you do.
all right. So number one, don't nobody get mad, but I'm retired. So I'm really retired. Like really, like I don't have to go to work no more, and the checks still come to the bank. So right now, my balance totally changed because I was doing so much in the army at one point that it's kind of anybody who's been in the military, you really know that you don't stop working until the duty day is done. Like there is no hourly. I'm just gonna go and stop at 5 o'clock in the military quite often. So, um, how do I balance sex? Number one, I take it out on Marquita. Number two, we travel. We travel quite a bit. We do go places. I mean, we don't really plan trips. They don't have to be far trips, but we take like short trips, and we are close to Florida, which is the vacation capital of America. And I'm kind of in between, I guess you can say, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, Jacksonville, Beaufort. If you go all the way down the coastline and come back up on the other side, Naples, all the way up around the Panama City, Mobile, Alabama. We can just hop in the car on Friday and be pretty much at a destination spot within 4 to 6 hours. So we take a lot of vacations, a lot of just quick trips. And that's to help the whole family because when you're dealing with kids in sports and entertainment and business, and then people are in your cars, and then just life is stressful. I know my wife got really stressed during COVID, and she's actually working all this week. Like the hospital doesn't close, so I tend to just get away with her or let the kids get away somewhere, and we travel. So I would say that's the number one thing we do is travel. We go places and make it happen.
If the pick 'em up truck is rocking, don't come a knocking. Come on.
Yes, sir. We gone. And Tony, I did see ducks this morning in Walmart. I thought about you.
Yeah, they'll tell you. Yeah.
He still wants some coon though, so we really trying to convince.
Good
But I would say
morning.
travel, guys, if you can. If just go see something new. And I will say this: it don't have to be like a major city. I don't know if anybody has ever been down I-10, but one time we stopped in Marianna, Florida. Just a little city that you never know got stuff going on. Went to this great Italian restaurant. We went and saw like these caves that had like these special, I guess, stalagmites and stalactites in it. Me and my wife did, and just walked around there. Went to a natural park. Went to a horse farm a couple times, different places in small cities. Got to ride horses, stuff like that. So it don't always have to be, Vegas and New York and places where everybody go. Some of these small towns have a lot going on also. So, and it's a lot cheaper.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that, Bree Love. Miss Lashanda, good morning. You want to tap in?
Are you referring to me, Rashawn?
Yes, I just wanted to say good morning to everyone. Thank you for this space. I'm going to try to chime in a little more. I've been trying to be a part of this platform for quite some time. At this moment, I am getting dressed. But yes, thank you. Thank you for the invite. Tony, thank you so much. Andy, everything you do, appreciate you. Mr. Brown, thank you for pinging me this morning.
Okay, okay. Beth, tap in.
Good morning, beautiful people. This is Beth Huckabee. I'm so excited to be here. My friend just told me about this club, and since I'm in Sugar Land, right outside of Houston, was really excited to find each of y'all. I feel like we put out pheromone calls. So, yeah, the work life balance. I I don't really know if there's ever really any balance because where you focus on it expands, right? So there's days, just like I believe Mr. Brown said, that I just work nonstop because there's deadlines and there's people depending on me. However, with that said, I'm very intentional about my time with my family. So I always have Friday night date nights with my man, love of my life. I'm intentional about the time I spend with my kids and my children. The vacationing, I think, is so important to just take some time and go away and breathe in the beauty of the world around us. And yeah, so I really appreciate this room and work life balance. Like I said, I don't know if I've ever had that just because of where I've stepped and been placed, where God's placed me in my life, about in the areas of helping people. And I'm okay with that. I'm just intentional about protecting my peace even if there's days I work nonstop and then days that I work maybe an hour. So I appreciate each of y'all. I'm going to follow y'all. Excited to get to know everyone here. This is Beth Huckabee, and everyone completes me. Thank you.
Hey,
Well,
this is Mr. Brown. I have a question, and I guess it's for the room. So I just realized something. Like now, I make it a point to jump on Clubhouse in the morning. Before, I wouldn't do it because I had stuff in between, stuff I could do while listening. Like say right now, I'm holding my daughter. She won't let me not hold her. Cool. But if before, I would just hold her. I might play with stocks on the phone and, go through the market on the phone, but that's all I would do. So I guess my question more or less is, and not for your little kids like your babies, but when you find yourself working all day nonstop, and like my 9-year-old, he's gonna come in, he might sneak in the room, sit there and watch me for a little while, realize I'm bored, go about his way. But do you find yourself explaining to your kids why you don't have time, or expressing to them, or communicating to them while you're overworking, or do you just shut them out? Or like, where is that in anybody's wheelhouse right now? I know Andy quite often is working, and her kids right there. He's
Hi,
involved.
Mr. Tony.
See,
Yep. See,
you know what I'm saying.
I was
So
just
What's
gonna tell
happening,
Good
you.
morning,
man?
Mark.
um, that's I guess that was
Hi.
my question. Yeah.
So, Mr. Brown,
Uh-uh.
for me, it's like at the time, man, my boy was young. Man, I was out. I was over the freaking road most of the well, a lot. I was gone a lot. I was here for 2 or 3 days out of the week, gone again for another 4 or 5 days. Nearly 3 weeks out of a month, out of any given month, I was gone more than I am here. But when I was here, I tried to make sure I was here during times where I park a truck, jump out the truck, he got some sort of activity or something going on, go get him, spend that time with him, spend the weekend with him, jump back in it and be gone. I never really explained to him until he got a little bit older. He could when he could kind of grasp the idea. Damn, Daddy, you showed off is gone quite a bit. You know what I mean? And I just tell him at that point, hey man, I got this is what I do for a living. This is the work I do, and it requires me to be gone, so I can't be here every day, every night. But I spent a lot of time with him or close to him when he was up to, let's say, 5 years old or so, or when I decided to go to this over the road and the trucking and everything, right? Uh, so man, you just kind of make the best of all the time you have with them. When they get curious, or then you just kind of break it down to them as best you can at their level. But if an opportunity presents itself, man, just you may be tired, or taxing and draining and wanting to get a little rest, but you just got to kind of push through. Let's go do something. You know what I mean? Even if it's just go outside, play catch or whatever, or go for a walk, or hell, just go to the zoo and let them run rampant. You know what I mean? So, but that's just kind of how I handled it, and it just kind of worked out of until we got him a cell phone and he could stay in touch with me without having to, grab his mama phone and this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's how it worked out. Even if it was in the daytime, he was up, and I might have been in the middle of a sleep or something. So I just kind of made the time for it. Um, quick conversation, so on and so forth, and that's how I worked it out. You know. With that said, I'm back quiet.
Absolutely, absolutely. You just gotta. I mean, you just have to figure it out. Let's keep it moving. If you haven't tapped into the topic, go ahead and tap in, and you can also answer Mr. Brown's question while you're tapping in. Go ahead. Who's next? Miss Rhonda, tap in.
I wanna touch on Mr. Brown's question. I would always allow my children to quote unquote come work with me. They weren't. They didn't even know what I was doing for the most part, or if they did, once they got older. Let me say that. But just to have them right there beside me with pen and paper, or on a computer or whatever, as if they're doing what I'm doing. And then we all have to take a lunch. We all have to go to dinner. That was our time. I to this day, and my children are 29 and 23, but I'm like, no cell phones, not right now. Come on, let's talk. Let's see what's going on with each other. So whenever we go out to eat, whenever we're at the dinner table, there's no electronics allowed. Like, no, let's converse. What you got going on? How was your day? What's next? Who's the lucky person in your life? All those good things. We would have skate night. Like, that was our family thing. We would always go to skate night. Because we love skating. So we were a skating family, and I still do that to this day with my grandchildren. I have Tuesday nights we go skating as a family, or whatever other activity. But yes, family vacations again is a thing. I drop everything. Come on, let's go. And of course, there's your time when they're sleeping or don't want to be bothered with you. That's when you can go work. So I inundate them with me until they're like, okay, I want to go do my own thing. And even just us being in the room together, in my opinion, was a thing, back then. Like I said, right now, it's like, they're like, catch me if you can. But the reality of it is, like, I get to do it all over again with my grandchildren right now. So try that, just include them in whatever you got going on. And then, like I said, lunchtime is always a thing, whether you're doing it at home or going out to eat. Um, Kids are always down for that. And no electronics, no working while we're eating. That's just doesn't go together. D&D your phone, all those good things. And it works. Try it. Let me know how it happens, how it works.
For me,
Absolutely.
guys, I'm gonna jump in real quick. For me, I include my kids in everything, right? And reason why I include them with everything because when growing up, my mom and my dad never included me. So it was like when I felt like I need to go get a job, I really didn't know what job to get because I didn't know, right? All I knew is all my friends are going over here, so I might as well get a job over here, right? So it put me in a space where I was just figuring it out the way I was going, rather than let me see what my mom was doing and enjoying it, right? Hold on, money. So also it brings out the personality of a person. When you see people personality and what they enjoy versus what they just have to do to make it, it makes things different. So I know for a fact my 19-year-old, he likes to entertain people, not to be a jokester or not to be comedian or anything like that. He just likes to see people smile, and if it's just a dance or crack a joke to get people to smile, that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's good in business. I have sat down with him and showed him, like, here's some documents. This is why I write this type of proposal. This is how I come up with the numbers I'm coming up with. And he fully understands it. And the way I know he understands it is because when he sit down with his friends and we're talking about what your mama do or whatever, he's able to reciprocate that. And they now come back and say, well, mama, can you teach us how to do that too? And I don't mind doing it because it started with the youth, right? Now with Kamani, I know he's gonna be in something where he's gonna be a leader. And the reason why I know he's gonna be a leader because he literally gets on TikTok by himself, find videos and say, hey mama, let's do this. And I laugh, growing up we do stuff with our parents and they do just enough. But now, it's a different platform. We have more stuff that we need to be interactive with our kids. So if he asks me to get on TikTok, I might not know what I'm doing, but we gonna get on TikTok. If he want to do something to sing along, come on, let's do it, because that part by itself, he's not doing it by himself, and it's gonna make him do it more. So as y'all can see, he'll get on and say, "Hey, hello, Houston." Hey, he know some of you guys by just the voice. He don't even have to be by the phone, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's Miss Johnny, mommy, Miss Johnny," or "There go Uncle Tony." I'm like, "Uncle Tony?" He's yeah, yeah. So it's a little bit different when you can hear the kids enjoying what you're doing and then they interact. Because to me, that's how they take over the business. That's generational wealth for me, because now my kids know about finance. Now my kids know what I do, and if something go wrong, they may not know step by step, but they have an idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, I include my kids in everything, y'all. Everything.
We love Kamani. Hey, good morning, Miss Rhonda, Laura, and Rashana, Monica, Mr. Larry. Y'all tap in. We're popcorn stuff.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Rashawn. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Oh,
Miss
are you sure?
Lauren.
Okay, sorry about that. Good morning, guys. I'm not in Houston. I'm in Florida, but I just dropped in here, and I thought you wouldn't mind me visiting you guys all the way from Florida. So, thank you for allowing me to speak. But just about the work-life balance. Personally, I don't think you can balance it, right? Because it's not. It's virtually impossible. Either you're focusing on one thing and you're doing it very well, or you're doing the other. But either way, everybody said has had good points. I am a serial entrepreneur and I also work full time. But I live in the moment. So meaning when I'm doing work for my job, I'm focused on that. When I'm spending time with the kids, I'm focused on that. And I just believe in living in the moment. I believe in taking vacations. I believe in traveling. I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa, and I'm actually headed home for Christmas for the month of December with the whole family. So we're excited about that. And then also, as the lady that just spoke about involving your kids, I grew up in a household where my mom, who was a very, very successful businesswoman, took me under her wing as a child. Basically, I went everywhere with her. I was the last of four kids. She had me at 43. So I was a handbag, and we went everywhere together, business, whatever it was, I was in there right next to her. And it really formed who I am today. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid to meet people and negotiate. I know what it takes to make it because I watched her growing up. So that's what I have to say, and I'm excited, and I'm going to drop the mic. Thank you so much.
Nice, thank you. Rashana, I know you've been
Great.
trying to go for a
Yes,
long
ma'am.
time. How you doing, Miss Harrison? Good morning. Thanks for your patience.
Great morning. It's no problem at all. Thank you for the opportunity to come up and speak. I love when people ask this question, number one, because I think it's become really cliche. So, yeah, so I don't think people really deeply think about what, what a person is asking. And two, it's such a conundrum. Like, how do you decide what work-life balance really means? Like, it's different for everyone. And I personally don't believe that there is such a thing as work-life balance. We're not able to compartmentalize our lives in a way that you can only work on one single thing at a time. So you have to do kind of what requires your attention at the time. I'm a mother of seven. I raised seven children. I didn't have seven natural children, but I raised seven children in a household. And I liken it until your kids' personalities. You may have one child that is very affectionate. I won't say needy. That particular child is very affectionate. So you may have to spend more cuddle time or more face time with that child than you do one who's very independent and who's very um, self-structured. Yes, you love them both and you give them both time, but you have to cater to them differently. And so that's the way that I kind of look at what we call work-life balance. You provide attention to what's needed at the time, and then as the necessity shifts, then you make the shifts. You can't put everything on the back burner, and you can't focus on one particular thing, at a time. But just being, like the young lady said, very intentional. I'm a planner by nature, so I schedule things out. And just like I say, as things shift and as things require more of me, then I provide that. And it may not necessarily be equal as far as a balance is concerned, but it does provide harmony. Thank you. I'm Rashana. That's my.
All right, let's keep it going. Hugo, good morning. Life is wonderful.
Life is wonderful. The one thing I will say, some people were talking about travel, whether it's to popular spots or to low key spots. I always say you can also be a tourist in your own city. Last night I went to the Van Gogh experience, which is really cool. It's just interactive art on the different paintings of Van Gogh. They've been doing this throughout America in all big cities. So it's kind of cool. And then like about several weeks ago, almost a month ago, 3 weeks ago, went back down to NASA, even though I've been there numerous times. I think, every city's got so much wonderful things, whether it's different restaurants or different things to see. So you can be a tourist in your own city, as well as work-life balance. I mean, you gotta have some type of balance. You got to take care of yourself. You got to run the business. It kind of fluctuates, either per day or per week. But as long as you're taking care of both, that's how you're actually you communicate what you're feeling. People understand that, and or what you're dealing with. Life does become a lot easier.
Cool, cool. All right, Hugo, appreciate you. All right, who's next? Jump in, tap in. Anybody?
Hey, it's Mr. Brown again. Hello. Hey, it's Mr. Brown again. And I wanted to say, like, I appreciate that, like, on a couple different levels. I guess I've been in a couple different roles when it comes to that work-life balance. But the one in particular, um, bringing your kids to work with you. I know some jobs you're like saying, well, you do your schoolwork, you play on your computer, and I'm gonna do my job. How do you feel about putting them to actual real work? Like, at what age do you start putting them to real work when you're bringing them with you? Because when I was a handyman, it was easy to give my son a paint roller and set him in a closet. And yeah, he gonna get that closet covered, but he gonna be covered too. But I knew he was good in that spot. Now as an insurance man, it's very little I can give him to do to help me with my business, like stuff these envelopes maybe, or go organize, pick those papers up. So it's almost like I lost that personal connection. Not lost the personal connection, but it was much easier. to be hands-on as a handyman than it is as an insurance agent when you're doing a lot of paperwork, a lot of meeting, a lot of talking. Because to him, it's just talking. Conversation so long, meeting so long. When it's relationship building for me. So anyone else experience that or feel that right now? What they're doing, like at one point,
Yeah,
what?
Am I?
Yeah,
I'm about to do it right now. Literally. The 5-year-old is in the back seat. We going to work. Like he woke me up. Like, Mama, we gotta go to the office. What I would definitely tell you is understand what your schedule is for that day, right? And with understanding what your schedule is for the day of today, you're doing a lot of look at him frying them turkeys. If if you know for sure that today is paperwork day, I believe your baby 9, right?
yeah. I got a 18, 9, and
So I will tell you now, please don't let that 9-year old fool you, right? Have that 9-year old sit there and maybe look at some content for you. They on their cell phones more than we are, right? So ask him to find videos that relate to insurance. You say you have to put paperwork together. I'm pretty sure your packet ain't just 1 or 2 pieces of paper. Maybe print out 50 copies of it or whatnot, 100 copies and have him to stuff them. And as he do 25, be like, okay, we're gonna take a break. Like do it almost like a 9 to 5 job. Hey, from this hour, this is what we're doing. We're gonna take a lunch during this time. You might want to take a nap. This is when you can take a nap. Cause trust and believe, we got the blanket, we got the iPad. Listen, we make it happen without without making it happen, right? So it's almost one of those things you got to be a little bit more creative. Yeah, your day may go a little bit slower, but involve them. That 18-year-old, listen, I know some of you guys that's in Hello Houston have heard Kevin Kevin call y'all and say, hey, how you doing? This is Creative Resource. Or, hey, how you doing? This is Hello Houston Team. Listen, get on that phone. You're about to ask me for a cash app. You're about to ask me for some shoes. You're going to work for that, right? But it's so funny because he enjoys it because he know majority of you guys by name. So he like, Mama, I called such and such today. They didn't even know who I was, right? It's like a shocker when you can show that you're actually running a family office versus just running a family business, right? And I love it. Like I'm Mr. Brian, I swear, not regret. My bad. If you can involve them right now, you will not regret it. Just give them that task. That's gonna take about 2 hours though, guaranteed. Because my son had 25 people to call, and it took him 2 hours, and I was trying to figure out why. But you know what? Tomato, tomato.
no, definitely that's what's up.
Good morning, Rhonda. Are you available? You want to tap in?
Good morning. How are y'all?
Hey, Rhonda, are you back?
I just got back.
You looked
We
up.
gotta
I'm
throw
out
a
the
round of
office tomorrow.
parade. That's my
I'm
opinion.
telling
I
We gotta
you,
just
throw a round of parade.
we got to get the bells and the whistles, baby.
I just got back and gonna be headed out again since the girls are gone. Well, one is in Louisiana. I ended up getting off a flight and taking her to Louisiana, and my oldest decided that she was going to her boyfriend's for Thanksgiving. So since I'm being home by myself for Thanksgiving, I decided to take me a day. Um, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just gonna get in the vehicle and I'm just gonna go and just take me a day of just relaxing. And I guess that does goes back to the subject with your work-life balance. I'm finally getting the opportunity to balance. Um, at first, I didn't have the opportunity to balance because I would get those phone calls. Of course, with the job that I do, I'm 24 hours. So I never had a period of just balancing myself, and I was just everywhere. So now I have my calendar and everything in order, and I balance myself, and I also, just stop taking call in the wee hours of the night so I wouldn't have to get up because I was getting tired. It was getting overwhelming. So, and going to what Mr. Brown says, with the kids, my 13-year-old now, I actually started her out with the training that I do. So she actually knows how to instruct CPR. I used to take her with the daycare centers and stuff that I did. She would be one of the trainers on that. So yeah.
Well, we'll pass the mic to the next. Who wants to go next? Who hadn't
It's
tapped in? Y'all
Armando
come on.
speaking. It's Armando
Come on,
speaking
Armando. Good
here.
morning, brother.
Good morning. Buenos dias here. Houston Heights coming at you. Love the background music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relaxing. So, yeah, so does work-life balance really exist? Yes, it does, and it does matter to me. And, just to get that work in, be productive, whether it's physical or your job, your business, be productive to whatever you're doing, clients, family, friends, patients. But then to reset your body and your mind, your emotions, whether it was a great day, not so great day, and just to turn it around, because every day is a new day. I don't like to carry over negative things that happened the day prior. I take that and learn from it and make it work for me instead of working against me. So what I've done is in the mornings early, I wake up at 4 a.m., get my workout in. By 7 a.m., I'm, dressed, hit the pavement, walking my dog. And then 8 a.m., I'm calling clients, and that's where my work starts. And yeah, it's just been great working out, scheduling that out. Sorry about the other dogs. But yeah, and then my work ends at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., excuse me, maybe 6 p.m. And then I'm just relaxing or doing some follow-up, little emails here and there, and just having downtime. So I really think there has to be a balance, with work and play and work. You just got to keep your mind right. So, and then I want to comment for Mr. Brown there, for I don't have kids, but when I was a kid, my parents owned a couple investment properties, and they taught me the value of work when going in there with a new tenant. We clean it up, we paint. I was everything. Mowing the grass, but they never. I love them to death, but they never taught me the power or the importance of real estate, owning properties, why they own properties. So I think, for you, Mr. Brown, I think I would take the most important things about your insurance business and then take that, once a month and drive it into, either taking in a client and how to, convert them or what's the, 5 important things about filling out an application, role play, how to speak with the client professionally, things like that. So he'll grow up, already professional by the time he's a teenager. So that's my little tip. Because I wish my parents would have taught me that as a kid growing up. I didn't learn it till late in life, until, I don't know, so many years back. So hope that helps. It's Armando here in Houston Heights, and thanks for having me on stage. Good to see everybody back, and hope you guys.
Thank you, Armando. Appreciate you coming in. Lauren LC, you up there with us?
Yes, yes. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. Hey, been a little while. Work-life balance. Woo, I just came. You do have to create balance, whether you're learning it. I heard some people saying that they're not quite an advocate. They're still trying to figure it out. But I feel like if you don't, life will make you figure it out. I've came from, that push, go, hustle hard type life, especially here in New York City. You just go all the time. But your body will tell you where you need balance. So, I learned sometimes, the balance may not be on point the way I desire it to be because of, like I have clients in Cali. We're like 3 hour difference, Hawaii, Malaysia, so much time difference. So sometimes I get a little off, but I try to make sure I don't go overboard. I kind of treat it like a credit card. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you keep swiping the card, At some point, the bill's going to get too high and you still regardless need to pay that bill. I look at work-life balance that same way. You can go a little bit over the limit. Don't go too far. Pay your balance down by, having some fun. And, just creating, like in all varieties, work hard the way you need to, but play hard too. Because I know for me, when I take off from work and I'll take times where I need a mental health day or have some fun, especially in my work and what I do, I get content. I get, things I need to create and do on my downtime or when I'm expressing having fun or things in that matter. So I think it is the importance of just moving at the best place that you can, but also, just figure out what works for you, what's not working for you. I also heard someone say something about like, you got clients in different times and you got to have a call. I used to do that. So like, especially when I was just a fitness trainer, I had to work at the times the people came to the gym in the morning, in the evening, and on the weekend. And those are ideally the times I don't want to work. So I had to just put my foot down and say, these are the times I'm available, just like a doctor, right? They got their hours. You'll figure out how to make it there. So I had to kind of start cutting out and making my schedule to be where I want it and where I best want to see clients and find the clients that are available in those times in my work schedule. And it does. I actually get paid more. I started working with clients that are entrepreneurs, so they have flexible schedules. So you just got to find what works for you. Because I know for me, that late night pushing, getting up, working late at night, and then still got to be up early in the morning with the clients that would go to the gym before I'm going to work was draining for me. So I had to kind of create a different schedule that worked for my life balance, how I wanted to have, and not by the amount I'll get paid to do it, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Lauren. Good to see you again. It's been a little while, no doubt. Good to see you back in the room, up with us just in the morning here. Where we at?
Some balance for myself and take a little time.
Okay. There you go. If you come down this way, holler. Let us know.
I give you one there, Tony. Because I often get asked about my work-life balance, and I actually don't believe in work-life balance. I do a work-life sacrifice. So I have a vision, I have a plan, I got a goal, and nothing else matters to me, because if I can hurry up and accomplish these goals, then I got a whole lot of balance that's going to be coming in the future. So my mentors taught me the multi-millionaire formula. So I'm making a sacrifice towards the formula because I understand the freedom that it'll provide me. So we actually have a plan. In the next 5 years, I'm done. Like, I ain't doing nothing else. And it's because of this formula of understanding that it's income to assets than assets to income. So I'm making a sacrifice to generate as much revenue as I possibly can right now, only to go purchase assets so my assets can cash flow me to income like I made the sacrifice to get earlier on. And once your assets can cash flow you income, you now have time freedom to do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. So I don't mind making this 5-year sacrifice to now have the rest of my life free. So yeah, that's how I.
Man, that's dope. No doubt. Like that. Sacrifice now to do what the hell you want later. That's a great way to look at it. No doubt, man. No doubt about it. All right, listen. Who else? Who else has not gone yet or spoken their piece?
Can I jump in, Tony?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Travis, I love what you're saying, but I'm going to counter that with I live for today because tomorrow's not a given. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and I love the fact that respect the grind and hustle and live do what it takes now, sacrifice, so you can spend the next 5 years, so you can spend your life like no one else can. After some personal experiences, I really, really realize every day is a gift, and I really try to make the most of every day. And that doesn't mean I work any less. And I say this coming from a real A-type performer, driving personality, because if I really had it my way, probably all I would do is work, because I am a producer and there really is no limit to where I want to get to. And I realized that early on our entrepreneurial journey. So I'd like to say work-life balance is a journey, not a destination. And one tool I really use with my students is the Wheel of Life. And I personally use the Wheel of Life because I run a business. My husband runs it alongside me, so I also have to manage our marriage and 4 children. So I have probably multiple full-time jobs going on at the same time. And I've really used that Wheel of Life to help keep me in check of where I'm at so I can be a top producer at all times. And so I'm not sure if everyone in this room has used this, but I really suggest to Google it. And it really outlines those important parts of life, such as spirituality, such as health and wellness, fun and recreation, money, your personal environment, like where you're currently sort of residing and living in. And there's probably more that I'm totally missing, which is why I print things off and refer to them. And I also schedule everything to make it happen. So I am very type A, and it's really probably boring to some people that I actually will schedule every aspect pretty much of my life. Like Armando, my day starts at 4 a.m. So I'm probably going from 4 till 10 as well every day. And I make it happen. And I think spirituality is one thing that none of us can compromise. We obviously do that first thing in the morning. My kids come next. And I always make time for them because that's my number one priority. So it's more watching them and doing what they want to do, not them watching me and doing what I want to do. It's me watching all 4 of them. And then everything after that would be health and wellness. So I make sure I play tennis at least 3 times a week. I work out 7 days a week. We make sure all that happens. And then put my work appointments after that. So I love how that lady said she's not reactive in work. So I never answer my phone. I schedule appointments for certain things only on certain days. And I never have an appointment with someone without researching them first because I feel it wastes everyone's time. And so every single thing, even what we eat, is planned a week ahead. So I know it might sound boring and maybe not spontaneous to people, but I think planning and really making sure every aspect of that wheel and keeping ourselves in check is what makes us whole. Because if our wheel is not round, we're not able to move forward. So I'm Monica and I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Monica. Is there anybody else we missed or skipped or anything? It was
Good.
8:19. What's happening, Natalie? What's happening?
I'm good. I'm good. Good morning, Andy and Joni and Travis and everyone else in the room. Haven't seen you guys in a minute, but I want to jump in and respect what Travis said. I want to agree with Monica. I don't live for today and I don't sacrifice for tomorrow. I'm somewhere in between there where the same thing I teach my client is to understand that life is about harmony, right? God created us to be whole and to have harmony in all areas of our life. At some point, you're going to find that you have more time with your significant other than you do, especially if you're on a vacation or you're away, than you do with your clients. Sometimes more with your children. Like right now, I'm in the parking lot of about to go inside the hospital with my son for a blood transfusion. We do this at least twice a month, right? 2 times in the week that we do a transfusion, we're in the hospitals. This means that it's like usually I don't do any work calls, but I saw you guys on here talking about balance, and I said, you know what? Let me join the conversation. For men, not all men, but in general, men can, they can lock their brains off and be super focused on one thing. As a woman and as a mother, and notice this is a general statement because I know a lot of men who also will pursue harmony. As a woman, as a mother, I have to pursue harmony because as much as God has called me to accomplish amazing things, I'm doing similar to Travis. I'm acquiring assets so that my assets will be passive income generators. And I have multiple assets, and I'm using cash flow from those to acquire other assets while building up my revenue stream to acquire new assets. And I'm doing that play as well. But at the same time, I can't put off my son's health. I can't put off my health. I can't put off my well being. I can't put off my relationships for tomorrow. My mother passed in her 50s. My sister passed in her 30s. My brother as well. My grandparents as well passed very young. So what I do know is I have today, right? However, I'm not going to sacrifice tomorrow for today because tomorrow is not just for me. It also belongs to my children and my great grandchildren and my grandchildren. And so I know that if I put something, I take away time, energy, effort, or money from tomorrow, it's not just about me, it's also about them. So it's a matter of harmony. I don't do the life wheel, Monica, but I do something similar, and I teach my clients. It's get all your F's in a row: faith, family, finance, fun, freedom. I mentioned finance, friendships, right? And if you break those down under faith, relationship with God, your faith in things that you're pursuing, right? Discipleship, family, your children, your marriage, your significant other, finance, your business, your money, your savings, your retirement, fun, your vacation, your lifestyle, freedom. When do you want to, stop working if you're pursuing a fire lifestyle, financial fire lifestyle, or you're pursuing, working as much as possible because you don't like to be bored, right? Friendships. What quality of friendships do you want to develop over the next few years? What circles do you want to be in? What circles do you want to build around you? Andy has built a circle for herself here in Hello Houston, right? So things of that nature, breaking that all the way down and going to God, like Monica says, there is no me without my spiritual side. So going to God every year for him to renew and restore the vision, and then taking that vision and breaking it down into smart goals, then breaking that down into what habits will I need to develop in order for me to live that lifestyle, then turning that habit into routines. My fitness habit, my faith habit, my health habit so happen to go together in the mornings, and they become my morning routine. My business habit, my day habit, my business habit, my client operation, business development, they all go together and they create my day stuff. My evening habits, my nighttime routine, my meal plan, all of those things go together and make difference. So you can create habits and then create routines out of them. And like Monica says, once it's predictable, and once it's scheduled, if it's not scheduled, then it's not important, right? And so once it's scheduled and becomes predictable, then what happens is your automatic success. All millionaires and billionaires that I know, if they don't have a team of people running it for them, they have a system or life systems that create automatic success, right? You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about where you're going to be, where your money, and down to the point of Jeff Bezos says 3 years in advance, when people are congratulating him on this year, he's already 3 to 5 years ahead because they have created systems that create predictable and automatic success. So if you want to say something is boring, you got to think to yourself, do you want spontaneity without success, or do you want success with sprouts of spontaneity? So I mean, I could go on, but that's my ad.
Yeah, Natasha, like it gets Natalie, I'm sorry. It gets to the point of you really understanding what can you do in the next 5 years, but do it right now. So it is shown in the next 5 years. So you're definitely right. Larry, have you went?
I haven't. I'm ready to jump in this thing,
Go ahead.
Andy. You know me.
Well, dive in head first. Come
What
on with
up,
it.
Tom? I kind of agree with. I agree with what Natalie said too. Systems is everything, and I want to drop a gem for everyone. If you're a reader or you're a listener of audiobooks, a good one to take a listen to would be "I Will Teach You to Be Rich." I like the way that this gentleman in this audiobook speaks because all he does is give you practical things that you can do if you're a janitor or if you're a multimillionaire right now to live a fulfillment of a life right now and later. Because for those of you that know me, I don't believe in retirement, right? Like I mix the ideal of, go to school, get a good job, blah, 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 that our parents told us about. I mix the ideal of
retiring at 65. I don't look forward to retiring. I'm not retiring. So I feel like one day in my 20s, I was on an airplane and I seen this old dude. He couldn't have been no more than about 65, 70, maybe older. But he looked like he was struggling with his bags and stuff. I was like, I don't want that. I want to enjoy it. I want to go to the beach right now where I can enjoy the sun, where it ain't killing me, killing me. And so I think with some of the things that he touches on in his books, it allows you this particular book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I think that is one of those things that you could start to save for the future, but live and enjoy the things that you want to do, the things you want to purchase, like right now. So, and then, I'm an avid believer in the carpe diem, which is a Latin word for seize the day. Take advantage of the day and things like that. So I think that you could start to, retire. I'm not a big fan. For those of you that read the book, The Millionaire Next Door, yeah, that's a cute book. But who wants to eat beans every day so they can save some money, or not go get a good old Starbucks coffee so they can save some money? I think that is ways that you can systematically do these things and still be able to live a quality of life. Now, to answer the question, is there a thing of work-life balance, right? I get that. For me, it's never really been a work-life balance. My work and my life kind of go hand in hand. If I'm sitting on the beach and I'm looking at my phone and a call comes in, I'll take the call. But if I'm in the beach water, I'm not going to run up out of the beach in order to grab my phone because of because it's ringing. So I think that it could be, and in my space again, it's another thing. Like if I'm out somewhere and someone walks up to me and want to have a conversation about real estate, I'm okay with that. I know how to have a 5 minute conversation, shut it off, and say, hey, me and my son looking at the football game, or it's just kind of like you kind of find ways to have a balance when it comes to that. But I do believe that work and life and all that stuff kind of goes together. But hope I answered the question. Anybody got any questions for me?
Hey, this is Mr. Brown, and I brought that up earlier about the kids, not necessarily because I don't know. You got to know, spend a lot of time thinking on solutions, right? Problem solving. And what Larry just said, I think, kind of resonates with I don't know how to call it. I don't want to call it entrepreneur necessarily because I've always been my own boss, even when I worked for other people. It's now that I found something I'm good at and I like, I want my children to like it. But I know it's boring, right? You want your friends to be interested in it, but they don't have the aptitude, or better yet, the interest in it. It's boring. So I feel like Larry, like you can't retire from the things you enjoy. If you enjoy helping and putting people on, but if you're caught in the rat race of it all, it feels like work. It's very pressing. It's demanding. Most of America, I want to feel like 70% America, something like that. It's over 70% are doing jobs they would never choose. Like they would, as kids, they would never choose that job. They would never, but that's where they are and they work them. And I'm not knocking that because I believe in the job for the stability it gives you. But what I'm saying is, are we working towards the things we enjoy in life to be the things that sustain our lives? Is that the work-life balance that we're speaking of? Because if that's it, that's kind of where I'm at. It's saying I'm not doing all this now so I could one day quit doing it and not have anything to do. I'm doing it to systematically make it run efficiently, or as efficiently as possible. So when I step in, I can step in and enjoy training, teaching, you know, talking to entrepreneurs and hearing their testimonies. And I can not step in when you're dealing with large amounts of tragedy or people who are wasting your time or things that are behind you. I'm not going to say beneath you because I don't believe in that above you and beneath you stuff. But you quite often we'll take steps back that we don't need to take in business, trying to make a balance. So I hope I made some sense there. But that's what I was pinging on. Like, how do you make them love and understand they can make money doing what they love all day?
Right. That's
So
dope,
let's
Mr.
reset the
Brown.
room
Let's
right
to
quick.
the point that we go live from 7:15 to 8:15 Central Standard Time. And I know you guys love coming into Hello Houston, giving your value. So I want to be the first to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of these conversations and these topics. I really appreciate you for that. This topic is brought to you today by okay, hold on. See that work like balance?
Today's topic was brought to you by golly, who gave us this topic? I'll come back and say it later on. But just to let you guys know, we go live Monday through Friday from 7:15 to 8:15 Central Standard Time. Being that it's the holidays, I'm sorry to be the first to break it to you, but we will not be live from starting tomorrow all the way up to Friday. We want to give you guys a break. We will be back on next Monday at 7:15. I know. It's like, what? It's okay. I'm sure you're gonna catch all of us in these clubhouse streets, but Hello Houston will not be live until next Monday. But I want to say I appreciate you guys for this conversation. I know, Tony, you're getting ready to reset the room, but we're going to get ready to close the room because it is 8:30. So make sure you guys turn on your notification bell so you can hear when we actually go live, as well as if you want to hear the replays, it is on one of our top lists at the top. Go ahead.
Yeah, so in that being said, listen, I hope everybody has safe travels, eat good, drink good, and merry, get to spend time with their family and all that kind of stuff. Uh, and if you're working, I wish everybody, safe day, safe travels, and in whatever it is we do. So, but yeah, that's pretty much about all I had there, Andy. So,
Nice. All right. So, if nothing else, I want you guys to have a prosperous day. Happy Thanksgiving to each and last one of you guys. Also, the Focus Business Conference is on. The tickets are live right now. The discount code that I am giving you guys for being on Focus Business Conference email list is in the email that was sent out this morning. So make sure you guys check that out. But if nothing else, make sure you make someone smile, and you guys have a prosperous day. Bye, guys.